So when people send in their questions, there's really no promise I'm going to know the answer. You hope so, and I hope so, but really there's no guarantee. Maybe you'll send in a question I just don't know the answer to. And to be honest, that probably makes it a really great question. The only problem is, how do you give an answer to a question you don't know the answer to? Well, let's find out. After all that buildup, you probably want to know the actual question, right? Well, here it is. Father Matt, what are the roles of the different persons of the Trinity? How does the Trinity work? How does the Trinity work? Short answer, I don't know. So please keep sending in your questions. I'm Father Matt, and this has been... Sorry, I gotta take this. Hello? Yeah, that's it. But it's the Trinity. We can't explain it. It's a mystery. That's kind of the whole point. Yeah, but... Alright, if you think I have to. Well, apparently just saying I don't know isn't a good enough answer. So, let's see what we can come up with. There are some things we do know about the Trinity. From our tradition, from our faith, from the Bible especially. We know that there's one God. It's right there at the start of the Ten Commandments. I am the Lord your God. You shall not have other gods besides me. So one God, just him. But we also know that three is involved, and the word that we usually use is three persons. Now this part comes mostly from Jesus. He says things like, no one knows the Son except the Father, and no one knows the Father except the Son. So the Father and the Son, both special, both holy, both divine. And Jesus also said that he'd send another paraclete or advocate, the Spirit of truth, to be with us and help us and teach us, to guide us to all truth. And the only way that that could happen, that there could be such a connection between the Father, the Son, and the Spirit, is if they're all holy, all divine, all God. And if we believe there's only a single God, well, then all one God. But also all different. And a lot of times we specify certain roles to the different persons of the Trinity to try and make that all clear. Like the Father, who is the source and the creator. The Son, Jesus, who is the incarnate, who is the Word and who's our Redeemer. And the Holy Spirit, who has a lot of them. Counselor and Comforter, Advocate and Paraclete. There's a whole bunch of them. And we give them these roles, these titles, to help us remember that they're three distinct persons and to help us really understand what it is that God does. But it's also important to remember that God can never just split in three. So when we talk about, say, the Holy Spirit as the advocate, that doesn't mean that he's off there by himself, leaving the other two behind. No, the Father and the Son are always there as well. They're always united, always in relationship, always working as one to love, to support, and to guide us. So they're three persons who are distinct from one another, but also they're one, united and relative, our catechism tells us. So the question is, well, how can that be? Nobody else, nothing else is like that, both one and three at the same time. So, yeah, how? Well, we can look again to the catechism. And it points out that the mystery of the Holy Trinity is the central mystery of Christian faith and life, which in part kind of means we just don't know. It's this incredible mystery that we just can't understand, not completely at least. Now that might seem like a bad thing to you, like a plot hole in the story or a flaw in our faith, but actually, having a God who is a mystery is the best way that he could be. Think about it. We have this God who is both the almighty creator and our most intimate loving friend. This God who is the source of everything and everyone, but also was born as a little baby, came and lived among us, and sacrificed himself for you. Our God is big and small, transcendent and immanent, we'd like to say. He hits both extremes and the whole lot in between. He is everything. Simply put, our God is perfect. And I don't know about you, but I'm certainly not perfect. So how could we ever understand completely and perfectly this God who is? We can't. And that's awesome. Because it's a constant reminder to us of how great our God is, of how powerful and wonderful and caring he can be in our lives. The fact that God is in some ways a mystery to us is such a fantastic reminder of just how amazing He is. And for those of us who could use His help from time to time, or better yet, all the time, being reminded of God's greatness is exactly what we need. So how does the Trinity work? I really don't know. It's a mystery. Now there are some things that we do know, and plenty of interesting things that we didn't have time to get into in this video, like generation, and spiration, and filiation, and processions, and missions, and all sorts of things that have been figured out, and that do help us understand God a little bit better. But when push comes to shove, there's still so much that we don't know. It's still a mystery, a really helpful mystery, but a mystery. I hope this video has made at least a little bit of sense to you, and hopefully it's been helpful. As always, you can share, like, and subscribe if you want to, but definitely make sure that you keep your questions coming. I'm Father Max, and I look forward to our next Catholic Chat.